welcome back to the Navhimz channel, and today we're going to be doing a trap album bracket. Ladies and gentlemen, we've already done some rap tier lists here and there, so I decided to switch it up a little bit and do a trap album bracket. Trap is one of my favorite rap subgenres out there because of its high energy and how you can just vibe the hell out and enjoy it basically. So I decided to do this one because it also has some pretty decent choices which I found interesting. I couldn't really think of any video ideas right now, and school's about to start. It's hell. We have a pretty stacked rap music week though, but anyways, let's get it started. First up, we have Rodeo versus Love is Rage 2. Rodeo, an absolute classic in my eyes. A top 5 trap album of all time in my opinion. Tracks like Maria I'm Drunk, which is my favorite Travis Scott song, 3500, that production, that energy from Travis Scott with the hook and feature and 2 Chainz as well. Like, everything about this record is just amazing. But here on the other side we have Love is Rage 2 by Uzi. People say this is his best work, which I disagree. I think it has a better record than this, but we could talk about that for another video. Love is Rage 2, incredibly influential for trap and incredibly important as well for Uzi because his project is legendary with a bunch of hits. We got 20 Minutes, The Way Life Goes, EXO Tour Life, like a bunch of hits on this record as well. And that upbeat, high tempo sort of production I think helped a lot when it came to making this record good. But I'm still gonna go with Rodeo just because it's Rodeo and it's just really good. I don't know what's beating Rodeo, man, if I'm being completely honest. We'll see though. Next up we have Without Warning versus You Only Live Twice by Freddie Gibbs. I guess this has some trap elements here and there, but not quite heavy, but I guess, yeah, sure, we'll add it here. It does say here trap, rap, hip hop, so I kind of f***ed up on that part, but it's still kind of there, whatever. But I'm gonna go with Without Warning just because it's a classic in my eyes. That ghostly production, and it's just such a stacked project in general. Don't get me wrong, I love You Only Live Twice. I think it's underrated. It gets overlooked here and there, but it just doesn't compare to Without Warning. The 2 features, Travis Scott and Quavo, and also the energy on tracks such as like Ric Flair Drip, Ghostface Killers, which is an absolute killer intro. It's insane. An absolute trap classic. One of my introductions to trap as a whole. I decided to listen to this at some point back then because of the cover, which I think was absolutely dope. So, Without Warning for me for sure. Oh, this is we have Flockavelli by Waka Flocka Flame and Not All Heroes Wear Capes by Metro Boomin. Flockavelli is an absolute classic in my opinion. That gangsta rap production, I feel like it did a completely perfect blend. Tracks like Bustin' Atom, Hard in the Paint, Train to Go, like the energies on these tracks are just like top tier, and top tier delivery, top tier execution from Waka Flocka Flame. Like, everything is just perfect. You can never go wrong with bumping some Flockavelli because it gives you everything what you need, and it did well during its time. It served well during its time. It did what it needed to do during its time. So there's nothing to complain about this record. It's a classic trap banger. Nothing else really that can disregard the impact of this joint. It's up against Not All Heroes Wear Capes, which I don't think Metro's best, but it's still a decent project overall. That psychedelic trap feeling and that psychedelic sort of trap production. We have 10 AM Save the World, which is a great intro, and then Overdue as well with Travis Scott, which I think was great. I think Travis Scott did well on these tracks, which I was quite surprised about when I listened to this record for the first time. And then we have Dreamcatcher as well, 10 Freaky Girls. Like, this is still a great project overall, but I just don't think it compares to Flockavelli by Waka Flocka Flame. So we're gonna go with Waka Flocka Flame's Flockavelli on this one. Next up we have, oh, this is low-key a wipe in my opinion. We have Jeffrey by Young Thug and Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial by Roddy Ricch. I'm gonna go with Jeffrey by Young Thug. Jeffrey by Young Thug is an absolutely flawless classic mixtape trap banger. Like, it just completely wipes Roddy Ricch's project, okay? Like, as much as I liked the time and impact of Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, it just doesn't compare to Jeffrey. Like, Young Thug's vocal performances on this record were just absolutely incredible, and the track list were just perfect. The beat selection for every track was just perfect. This was a whole movement. Don't get me wrong, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial was a movement as well, but Jeffrey by Young Thug, that's different, man. It still remains to be one of my favorite trap records to this day. Tracks like Wyclef Jean, Floyd Mayweather, Swizz Beatz, Future Swag, like the whole track list. This had 10 tracks on it, and also Pick Up the Phone. So you know why I'm picking Jeffrey, okay? Next up, we have Future's DS2 versus Savage Mode. Savage Mode wasn't even that great. Second one was better. An absolute wipe from the second one compared to the first one. It's gonna go to DS2 by Future. No explanation needed. You know why. An absolute top 5 trap of all time. No questions needed. Next up, we have Playboy Carti's Self-Titled versus 2 Chainz Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. I like Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. I think I'm gonna go with Playboy Carti's Self-Titled though, just because of this psychedelic approach, and this had one of Playboy Carti's best songs, which is Flex, and to me this was just like a breath of fresh air in a way. It's just so chill, it's so laid back with tracks like Woke Up Like This, Magnolia, as I've said again, Flex, Shooter. Like, it's a pretty straightforward record. I also did like that 2 Chainz record, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, especially with those beat selections and whatnot, that high tempo production, and how it's just consistent with the energy from 2 Chainz and the people that worked in that project. But Carti just delivered here. 2 trap projects with a completely different vibe, but they're still both great. But I'm still gonna go with Self-Titled by Carti, man. Next up, we have Denzel Curry's Zoo versus So Much Fun by Young Thug. Oh wow, I like Zoo a lot. I think Introspective Curry and Banger Party Curry both deliver whenever they need to. I'm not the biggest So Much Fun guy, but it did come out with some hits, and I think the features as well were big contributors, turning this record good in a way. But I'm gonna go with Zoo. I think it's a banger, and more consistent as well. And it was more straightforward in my opinion. Next up, we have Dial It by Playboy Carti and Trap Lord by Ace of Ferg. A lot of people consider Dial It as Carti's best project, which to me, I'm not too mad at that. I also sort of agree with that take because of how psychedelic and how it just sounds like an improved version of the Self-Titled Carti has released just a year prior, Dial It being released. Trap Lord paints this picture of the street life and your upbringing in a way, with trap heavy production and the upbeat tempo production again as well on this one, just like with Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. I'm gonna go with Dial It though, just because it's phenomenal in a way. They were both great though, don't get me wrong, they're both great. Now we have Rodeo versus Without Warning. This is getting spicier each and every time now. I'm gonna go with Rodeo because it's Rodeo. I think production wise and tracklist wise, it absolutely wipes Without Warning despite its straightforwardness and the fact that it only had that short amount of tracks. Next up, we have Flocka Valley versus Jeffrey. I actually have never made this choice before. This is weird. Wow. Oh man. Both straightforward projects. I'm gonna go with Jeffrey. That might surprise some people, but I think Young Thug's vocals just like hard carried him in this list. Or in this bracket. Next up, we have Future's DS2 versus Playboy Carti Self-Titled. This has not been Playboy Carti's best project, so hey. Oh no, I'm gonna go with Dial It. The vibes on both of these projects were completely different, but I'm still gonna go with Dial It though, just because that approach from Carti I think was better than what Denzel did. Denzel still did great though, don't get me wrong about that. Next up, we have Rodeo versus Jeffrey. Rodeo clears. Let me know your thoughts though. I think the performances from Travis on that whole record were just better, and that production is an absolute carry. Like, that's what you need to look out for on these projects. Like, the production is a big factor. The lyrics, so obviously they're not a big factor because this is trap, but Rodeo's production was just on a whole nother level. It was otherworldly when I listened to it, so it's just gonna win against Jeffrey. DS2 versus Dial It. DS2 wins, like, for obvious reasons. And now we have the trap behemoths, 2 trap giants going at it, but I'm still gonna go with Rodeo. People are gonna have mixed opinions about that, which is okay. Hey, it is what it is. Next up, we have Taboo versus Lil Boat. I love Lil Boat, I think it's a classic, but Taboo is Taboo. The acts were great, the execution were great, the features were great from Denzel. I'm glad this project is getting the recognition it deserves nowadays. Next up, we have I Am Greater Than I Was versus Beast Mode by Future. I'm gonna go with I Am Greater Than I Was because it's better. Sonically, it's better as well. Beast Mode was a little weak. I think the second one was better. So, that's why I picked it. Next up, we have Astroworld versus Culture. Okay, wow. I'd rather listen to Astroworld, but I'm gonna go with Culture by the Migos just because it was a whole movement during its time. And it's an absolute trap classic. 2 trap classics. Monster by Future versus Chief Keef's Finally Rich. I'm gonna go with Monster because I'm a big Monster fan. It has Throwaway, it has Codeine Crazy, literally a top 5 Future track. So I have to go Future, man. I'm sorry, Chief Keef, but that's still a classic drill banger right there. Next up, I have Young Thug's Barter 6 versus What a Time to Be Alive by Drake and Future. Both classics. I'm a big What a Time to Be Alive fan. You guys would know that. But I think this one goes to Barter 6 just due to how iconic it was. Beautiful Thugger Girls versus Birds in the Trap McKnight. I'm not gonna lie, both of these projects are mid. I'm sorry. Birds was underwhelming. It felt like it was a continuous loop of nothing. It was just recycling nothing. I don't know. And Beautiful Thugger Girls, I know what Thug was going for in this record. That chill approach and stuff, due to how sonically it sounded and how laid back and how summery or how summer-ish the tracks were. I'm gonna go with Birds though. Battle of the Mid, if I'm being completely honest. I'm sorry. Next up we have Days Before Rodeo versus Lil Uzi Vert versus The World, which to me I think is still underrated, but I'm gonna go with Days Before Rodeo. Like tracks like The Prayer and that psychedelic production, like it's just insane. I think Days Before Rodeo gets overlooked. I think it's better than Al Faro, and overall I think it was decent. And then Rodeo came, and then boom. Next up we have Imperial by Denzel Curry versus The Carter 5 by Lil Wayne. I don't know if this is trap, but it's trap apparently. I mean, it's not trap. There's some trap elements here and there, but hey, it's still a trap rap album video. I'm gonna go to Imperial though, just because introspective Denzel was crazy on his bag, and especially those features, the production were overall just executed better in a way, and I come back to it more, and I just found it better, to be honest with you. Next up we have Taboo versus I'm Greater Than I Was. I'm gonna go with Taboo. It's better, more concise, more straightforward, and the lows on there weren't really that noticeable the way it was on I'm Greater Than I Was, if I'm completely honest with you. Next up we have two trap giants again. We had Rodeo versus DS2. Now we have Culture by the Migos and Future's Monster. I'm gonna go with Future's Monster. That's just like energy wise, it's a little clear. Okay, this is a clear. Young Thug's Barter 6 versus Travis Scott's Birds of the Trap Fly McKnight. What the f, bro? That's a clear. Days Before Rodeo versus Imperial. As much as I love Days Before Rodeo, it's Imperial, one of Denzel's best and one of his overlooked projects. Yes, people give attention to this at some capacity, but it gets overlooked by projects like King of the Mischievous South Volume 2, Melt May I See Your Future. So I'm gonna go to Imperial. I think it's a banger. Banger. Next up we have Taboo versus Monster. I'm gonna go with Monster. Again, it's an absolute wipe. Next up we have Barter 6 by Young Thug and Imperial by Denzel Curry. Imperial's doing a pretty decent run here, but it's gonna be Barter 6 by Young Thug. Trap classic, and the production as well was beautiful. Like it's just like, it's such a complete project. Like if you think of a trap classic from the 2010s, Barter 6 has to come in your mind, like at least somewhere in the top 10, right? Or somewhere in the top 5 at least. Next up we have Monster by Future versus Barter 6 by Young Thug. Two trap bangers again. Wow. But I'm gonna go with Monster, believe it or not, everyone. I'm gonna go with Monster in this one because it's an absolute monstrosity. Like Future was a monster literally on this project, not just on the cover, but on the performances that he provided us as well on that record. Like the emotion, the production, the delivery of Future was just like, okay, wow. And now the last one we have Rodeo versus Monster. Guess what I'm gonna pick? Rodeo. I'm gonna go with Rodeo. Rodeo is the winner. It's the best trap album of all time in my opinion. Maybe not of all time for some, but at least for the 2010s for me at least. Let me know if you want to see more content like this. Drop a like, sub, comment, see you.